My name's Matt Southern from Evolution Studios, studio game director. Well, I think it's fundamentally a very different game to the other MotorStorm games. You're right, we've just announced it, and not only is that in itself a surprise, but the game experience itself I think is very surprising. The idea is it's a simulation of 1 to 10 scale radio-controlled car racing that takes place in the MotorStorm universe. So in all 4 of the previous MotorStorm locations, so the desert, the jungle, the ice, the city, and in 4 tracks in each, so in 16 unique tracks, you race a kind of old school, top-down, very simulation-driven RC game. So it really does kind of draw on very kind of traditional, addictive, top-down racing. There's 3 or 4 different cameras, but they're all variations on that overhead perspective. The cars range from very accessible ones like the Super Mini. They're in 3 different speed categories, ending with the elite class, the supercars, which are insanely fast. There's another unique class, the muscle cars, which are used just for drift racing. Drift racing is one of the 4 modes in the game, including pursuit, time attack and racing. And then on top of that old school gameplay, we've added some real modern, contemporary approaches to the multiplayer experience. So there's 4-player split screen on the PlayStation 3 version, which launches on the same day as Vita's version at Vita launch. And then there's asynchronous multiplayer across Vitas and between PlayStation 3 and Vita. That means that when you race the game, you're always racing against PSN friends and rivals, even when they're not there. So every time you start, let's say, race mode, there's a ton of AI to beat. There's your own personal time to beat that's there in the form of a white ghost trail. And then there are also ghost trails for your PSN friends. So it's got this real modern kind of social layer. You're constantly told how your friends are getting on in the game, but it's intermixed with real kind of classic, super addictive, really kind of getting under the skin, hypnotic gameplay. Well, we've decided again that this time you don't have to be playing at the same time. So we're not going to do multiplayer across the platforms. And initially that kind of sounds like, well, that's the kind of game you should be making. But actually, we've looked at Facebook games, we've looked at browser games. We're not making a game for those people that play those games, but we are saying that what they're doing with multiplayer is very innovative and can really transform the multiplayer experience in a download game. So you can carry your own progress from Vita to PlayStation 3, you can play on the bus, save the game, get home, carry on the same progress, and you can challenge each other across the 2 devices. But if you want to play on the same track with your friends, then it's that old school, in the living room, split screen 4-player on PlayStation 3, as well as 3D and simul view modes on the PlayStation 3 version. It is all about the asynchronous connections between the 2 devices. We have confirmed that for one price, you will get both versions. And, you know, it's this idea that I'm playing the game, I visit the pit wall, which is like a news feed. It might say that, you know, Russia's just beaten my time on a particular track. I can click on that update, and then 4 seconds later, I'm racing that track, trying to beat that time back. So it's very immediate, very pick up and play, but it's also got hours and hours of gameplay depth. Vita is a games machine, and it's proud to be a machine for gamers. And MotorStorm RC is the same. It's a gamer's game. It's all about the gameplay. You know, previous games have mixed gameplay with spectacle and kind of, you know, amazing kind of AAA production values. This is the MotorStorm engine. The game looks really sweet, but actually the most important thing is that addictive gameplay. Easy to learn, hard to master, a real nice mix of old and new. What we've chosen to do is we're experimenting with the different control methods for both the menu navigation and the gameplay itself. At the moment you can customize the controls in any way that you like, but we're going to launch a big round of PlayStation Vita focused usability testing to really make sure it's absolutely spot on, and that's where we'll decide the final control methods. Probably the biggest way we uniquely use Vita is with the 3G. So you do, Wi-Fi mode can be used for the social layer, but actually if you've got the 3G model, then wherever you are, you can tap into the ghost data, the social data, the updates. So it's actually it's an asynchronous multiplayer game no matter where you are. It launches with the Vita in spring next year in Europe and America. Day one, it'll be a Vita launch title, and on the same day, for no extra cost, PlayStation 3 PSN version 2.